showed me the rhythm. And we're gonna do it right today. We're gonna walk down the street and let everybody else know what's in them. Let's say now 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and boom, chicka, 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 boom, boom, chicka, chicka. Come on, grab a drum, make some noise. Woo! Doesn't matter what you play, girls and boys. Just as long as you play, as long as you play like you're walking down the street. Say one, boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom, chicka, boom. Come on, make some noise. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna ask one more time, and I want you to tell me how you really feel. How you feeling today? Ooh, all right, okay. I feel fine, I feel free, I feel good just being me. I feel good today, so good today. I feel fine, I feel free, I feel good just being me. I feel good today. Woo! Come on now, let's play some drum. Boom, ah, boom, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, da, boom, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, da, boom, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, da, chicka. We're gonna march today all through Los Angeles and make some noise. We're gonna shake that big old building next to us. I heard that's the tallest building in the world, but that's on earthquake rollers right over there. So don't be afraid if you stomp your feet and make some noise and let them know that there ain't no health without mental health. Say boom chicka la chicka la chicka boom boom chicka la chicka. I'm starting to hear some drums out there. Now I'm telling you, this is where you want to be in about 20 minutes when everything kicks off. So come on up and find yourself a good seat. Put your seat down. And boom, boom, chicka, chicka, boom, boom. I feel fine, I feel free, I feel good just being me. I feel good today. So good, everybody, let's say I feel fine, I feel free, I feel good just being me. I feel good today. Now when I'm banging on my drum, feels like a million beats to come. It makes me forget what I had today. It makes me forget what tomorrow might say. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Now there's only a couple of seats left up in front. That's where all the action is, I gotta tell you. So come on down and make some noise. And boom, chicka la chicka la chicka. Now boom, chicka la chicka. Now boom, chicka la chicka la chicka. Now boom, chicka la chicka. Woo! All right, now we're getting this big old rhythm going. Okay, now once again, I know I can get your help, because all you gotta do is ask. That's what I've learned from NAMI. It's family to family or peer to peer, it don't make no difference, all is clear. All you gotta do is ask, and the help is there. I feel fine, I feel free, I feel good just being me. I feel good today. If you wake up in the morning and say those words, you might just be surprised. It might make you want to get out of bed. And in the meantime, can you help me out? Help me out, NAMI, and say, hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. All right, hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. Hey-oh, hey-oh, hey-oh. Hey-oh, hey-oh, hey, that's right. Okay, now we're gonna change the words. Instead of hey-oh, we're gonna say, NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Hey! I can't hear you, NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Oh, that's right. NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Oh, it's too early in the morning to say anything, but say NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Say NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Say NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Say NAMI, 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 NAMI. Say NAMI, 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 NAMI. Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Hey, does anybody want to come up and play these big drums for me? Come on up. you got to give them a big heartbeat, because that's what this is about today. This is about sharing our heartbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All right, I'm down. Here it is. Get too tired out before the walk. Let's hear it for our first fancy heartbeat drum and whoa. 1. Everybody ready? 1. I can't hear you. Are you ready? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rumble. Ready? Let me hear that rumble nice and loud. Nice and loud. Let's bring it up, bring it up, bring it down. Now bring it down. Keep on rumbling nice and soft. Bring it up, bring it up. And bring it down. Now bring it up. And bring it down. This side up. And this side up. And the whole yard. Let's say, come on. All right. Okay, now. DJ Trey here today, is DJ Trey here today. DJ Trey, where is ya? some shakers. Now the beauty of drumming is that it brings everybody together. We all have one heartbeat. We can train it all together, and we can work just like NAMI works from the ground up. Say 1 chicka 2 chicka 3 chicka 4 chicka 1 2 3 chicka 4 chicka 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and a 1 chicka 2 chicka 3 chicka 4 1 chicka 2 chicka 3. Let's do this one more time before we get ready to walk. Let me hear you say NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Woo, all right now. NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Hey, you way in the back there under the bleachers, way hiding away. You can say it with us. You can say it to us. You can say it for us. Let's all say NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Everybody. NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Woo, all right. Yeah. NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. NAMI, NAMI, NAMI. Let me hear that cowbell. Let me hear those shakers. Let me hear those drums. Let me hear that noise that we can all make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make some noise with our feet as we're walking down the street. Everybody say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, everybody? Let me hear the loudest, biggest rumble, and we'll meet you over there at the finish line to help everybody come on back with some good old-fashioned rhythm. Everybody say 1, 2, 3, 4, and a rumble!
Good morning, Los Angeles. When I say NAMI, you say walk. NAMI. Walk. NAMI. Walk. When I say stigma, you say free. Stigma. Free. Stigma. Free. That's what I like to hear. Hi, everyone. My name is Adilene Valenzuela. I am this year's manager for NAMI Walks LA County.
Let's give it up, y'all! Give it up, that's right!
It is my honor and my privilege to welcome you all to the oh-so-sweet 16th anniversary of NAMI Walks. First things first, getting situated. The registration booths are to my right, facing Broadway. For those of you who've raised $100 or more, please make sure you collect your ticket so you can pick up your t-shirt from the t-shirts booth, which is also to my right. We have all around the perimeter, we have our sponsors, our partners, we have our NAMI affiliates towards the back. Please introduce yourselves. We want to get to know you. We have our family fun zone sponsored by College Hospitals over here to my left. You can make a sign, you can get face painting, you can also take a selfie at the glittery pink selfie station. Make sure that whatever pictures you post on social media, please tag us, NAMI Walks LAC 2019. There are restrooms in the back toward Spring and First, and Today's such a beautiful and sunny day. We got really lucky with the weather, but please make sure to stay hydrated and wear your sunscreen. We have first aid at the back as well. No smoking or vaporizers are allowed in the park, just FYI. When you're done walking, we'll start the walk, the 5K at 10 a.m. Don't forget to come back here. We're going to have some post-walk contests. We'll have the best team t-shirt contest and the best dressed dog. Yeah, best dressed dog, we like that. There are prizes as well. If you'd like to participate, send one person, just one person from your team to the stage, or bring yourself and your dog so you can enter the contest. So why are we here? Why am I here? Why is anybody here on a Saturday morning at this thing called NAMI Walks? Maybe you're here for a loved one. Maybe you're here for yourself. Maybe you're here because you simply think mental health matters, period. Whatever brought you here, thank you for coming. For folks who are new, NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. We provide mental health education, support, programs, and advocacy so that individuals and families affected by mental illness can build better lives. NAMI Walks is also a celebration of all the work we've collectively done, our partners collectively do, and you do to raise awareness of the impact that mental illness has in our lives and in our communities. Will you please give yourselves a big round of applause? Yes. It takes effort to reach out to your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends, and say, hey, this work is important to me. Can you please help? It takes courage and vulnerability to reach out to people, to make an ask. So thank you so much for the work you put in to make this year's walk a success. NAMI provides so many vital services all over LA County, like in Long Beach. Is NAMI Long Beach in the house? Long Beach? What about the South Bay? Ooh, there's no South Bay. Whittier.
I know Whittier.
No, Whittier. Glendale. Yay, Glendale. San Gabriel Valley. Okay. What about East San Gabriel Valley? West Covina, La Puente. What about urban LA? I'm talking like Inglewood, Leimert Park, Southeast LA, Antelope Valley, Pomona. Anybody here from South Central? Hey! Anybody here from the San Fernando Valley?
Woo!
Is anybody here from the West Side? Really? I know there are West Side people here. So why do we walk? We walk to raise funds to ensure that help is available for those who need it. We walk because we understand that mental health challenges are not grounds for discrimination and stigma. Because we believe folks experiencing mental health challenges do not belong in and out of county jails, nor do they belong on the streets. Because we believe everyone deserves dignity and respect, period. We walk because we believe in a peer-led movement supported by a network of allies at all levels. Mental health is important to us, and we walk for our loved ones who can't. Because we know recovery is not just a possibility, it is alive and well right here, right now in Grant Park. And with that, it is my pleasure to welcome Chris Florendo, a queer Filipinx mental health advocate and public speaker for NAMI, performance artist, and all-around creative.
Hello, good morning, y'all. It's a beautiful morning. My name is Christopher Florendo. I'm a queer Filipinx person with schizoaffective disorder. Ultimately, I am me, unapologetically and uniquely me, and no one can compromise that any further. I've been determined, proactive, fearless in my continuing journey of recovery with mental illness, but I've also been enveloped in the darkness of this disease, shattered mentally, emotionally, and physically, from bedbound to wheelchair to learning how to walk, and ultimately learning and continuing to learn how to live wholeheartedly, compassionately, with empathy and fearlessness. I am in full gratitude and thankful for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, in our own voice to provide a platform for me to share my story. I first have to thank sincerely Brittney Weissman and Sally Sargario for the support, for blessing me with the opportunity to speak here today. What NAMI has done throughout the years of their history has allowed us to be present here today in solidarity as a community of shared experiences, struggles, and humanity. Being a part of NAMI fills my heart not only for its contribution to the community of those who live with mental illness, but to provide a platform for people like myself to share my story, which ultimately is where representation matters, and NAMI has nurtured that voice. I only can attest this to share this platform through In Our Own Voice with other unique individuals who also share their story fearlessly, truthfully, with love and courage. To know that our story matters and brings hope that it is possible to recover and to continue to thrive despite the difficulties that may arise. It is ultimately a privilege to be a part of this movement and community here today at NAMI Walks, and to say amen, and I bow in solidarity with you all. The LGBTQ+ community, especially the POC LGBTQ+ community, I believe, with urgency, needs more representation and support from the mental health professional community and the community as a whole to develop stronger bonds and relationships with these specific dynamics that need to be addressed and advocated with urgency. Mental health issues of the LGBTQ+ community with more importance and focus. With love and compassion, I call upon our leaders in this industry and in our state and country to rise to the occasion with me to make change, challenge the system in need to revise and look closer to our LGBTQ+ community to do more. I have the fortune here today to speak to you all. I stand before you today as a testament of survival, of sacrifice, of my proactive efforts to ultimately choose life. Life above all things, despite the pain and torture of mental illness and the stigma that has stifled me and made me feel less, not enough, and can never be enough, that I would not even have the chance to live a full life as I do now. I can tell you now, as a proclamation of truth of myself and my journey, that I am enough and have always been enough. And I have to say with adamant importance and truth that you are all more than enough. You are light, the light waiting to appear after a long, dark night. As dawn breaks, the light of the sun appears in all its glory, and so will you, as I have, will shine. The darkness does not exist forever, and the light will dim every so often, but rest assured, the light in you all will always be there inside, waiting to show its face to the world which is deserving to see that face, to see your face, our faces, my face. We can only rise if we find the strength through the struggle to build the resilience to rise time after time despite the pains of mental illness. I am here as a testament to that light that now shines on you all to let you know you shall rise, you will claim your life as your own. You will define it for yourself, as with your recovery, you will find the path that is uniquely yours, to walk tall in the face of mental illness, adversity, and stigma. So rise, let us now take a deep breath together. Closed eyes, a deep breath. Open them, exhale, and watch yourself rise. And as Maya Angelou said, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. We are not alone. The divinity of our ancestors are here with us to guide us. We are here to discover their presence as I have. I am not alone, and you are not alone. And in the Filipino culture, we do say, isang baksak, which means one falls, we all fall. We are here to support each other, build strong bonds and community. Now let us walk hand in hand forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now we'll hear from Brittney Weissman. Brittney is at the front lines of mental health advocacy and supports our affiliates and partners as Executive Director of NAMI Los Angeles County Council and Chair of the LA County Mental Health Commission. Please welcome our fearless leader, Brittney Weissman.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I think I say this every year. Welcome, everyone. Can I have your attention because I want to know if you've been to NAMI Walks more than 10 years out of our history. Raise your hand, make some noise. 10 years. Wow. Congratulations and thank you. Okay, 5 years. If you've been to more than 5 NAMI Walks, make some noise. We want to thank you. If this is your first NAMI Walks ever, raise your hand. We salute you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. We're really glad you could make it. It's a stunning morning. And guess who else is kind of new to NAMI Walks? Our NAMI Walks manager this year, Adilene Valenzuela. Give her a round of applause. She stepped into this role knowing a quarter of what she needed to get the job done and has been learning and running and hitting the ground every day ever since. And we have to give her super thanks for pulling this off. What a wonderful day. Give her another round of applause. Thank you again for being here. We're so glad you are. Today's outright and upfront show of support for NAMI and people living with a mental illness is critical. We've got Power 106 here, we got a drum circle, a whole bunch of NAMI partners, celebrities like Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Mr. Robot's very own Darlene Alderson, Carly Chaikin, volunteers like you and supporters like you. We've got food trucks like tacos and fruit, pastrami, southern fried chicken and fish. It's awesome. We also have every single one of you standing here. And all of us all together are demonstrating the ever-growing strength of our movement and of our resolve to make things easier for people living with mental illness in LA County. We know the road is sometimes rough. NAMI makes it easier. You know, we stand by you, we sit by you, we take your phone calls, we go to the doctors, we go to the courts, we go to jail with you. We are really glad to be beside you because we hope that when you come across the situations we've been through, your time is just a little more easier and you have a little more company and you get through it a little easier. Thank goodness for each of you and thank goodness for NAMI. Can we hear it for NAMI? Give it up. Also, I have to say how awesome it is to see everybody here on a fun event. This is a celebration, this is a party. We have drum circles, we have food trucks. Not every day in the life of a NAMI member or a NAMI family is fun and happy-go-lucky, full of spirit and good show. That's not every day in the life struggling or living with a mental illness. So how often does it happen that we can take a break and a breath together? It's really awesome. And I'm sure you can relate to the fact that mental health challenges really touch us all. We all take meds or we go to therapy. We get weepy for no reason for too long, too many days in a row. Our hearts race, our palms are always sweaty. We see our friends and neighbors on the street doing unwell. And we need to know what to do and how to help each other. That's what NAMI is. We can all share in the spirit of wellness and recovery. You know the challenges though. We read them in the daily paper, we see them in the news. The public skewed perception of what it's like to live with a mental illness will not change unless we're here doing this work, showing what it is to live in recovery and in wellness and seeking treatment and recovery. That's why it's really important to be here together. Today we show our best selves, our brightest colors. I know we see lots of lime green and bright yellow and green and orange and blue. I mean, you can see Adelene's outfit today is a testament to the fact that we need to stand loud and proud in pink and green tutus. We smile and we march through the streets of downtown LA to show LA and our partners, our county, our friends, our neighbors that mental health challenges are just part of life, right? So it's important to give yourselves a pat on the back and high five each other for being here, for being a leader in the mental health advocacy movement that is NAMI and is in LA County. I'd love for you to see your partner next to you, your neighbor, give them a high five or a fist bump. What is up, NAMI? Give yourselves a high five. All those team captains and those team members, all the vendors, high fives, fist bumps, all together now. Okay, in the spirit of high fives and fist bumps, I'm going to call up our next speaker, who is so awesome and so fun, who's had struggles herself and who overcomes them on a regular and daily basis. Her name is Sherin Holtzclaw, and if you don't know the name, she's a former WNBA Super All-Star. Almost a Michael Jordan, but a female Michael Jordan, so it's kind of even better and more powerful. And she's become a mental health advocate and ally for a long time. She stands with NAMI and other mental health organizations across the country to break the stigma and show that mental health challenges are just part of regular life. Sherin.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm a little tall for this, but like Chris said, you know, we're all in this together. I was at my college yesterday, University of Tennessee. I am operating on 4 hours of sleep. Had to drive 45 minutes to get here. But I wanted to be here because since I was a young child, I know what it's like struggling with mental health concerns. I remember at 11 years old experiencing that trauma where me and my brother had to go live with my grandmother because my parents were struggling with addiction. We didn't talk about these things in my household. I thought my dad was an alcoholic. My dad was struggling with schizophrenic disorder. So can you imagine me as a young kid seeing my dad have full-on conversations with himself, thinking that, you know, it's because he's drinking, not knowing that the reason he was drinking is because he was masking those things. As I grow up and I'm living with my grandmother now, trying to balance those things, I started having the temper tantrums acting out because even though my household is dysfunctional, that's what I know, that's my mom and dad. But for me, I found sport, and for sport for me was something that I could take out that anger and frustration that I was feeling. It became my coping mechanism in a lot of ways, but as we know, when things are going good, those type of feelings sometimes are not sustainable. And I ultimately started to have those cracks in my being. And I didn't know how to deal with those emotional issues. And if you're good at something, whether it's athletics, math, academics, when people see greatness in you, people will kind of coach you along the way. So I really had to never face those things. And as I started getting older, dealing with different environments. I go from New York City to Knoxville, Tennessee from college. Can you imagine the cultural shock? And I was trying to figure out who I was, and I got really down. I couldn't get out of bed to get to class. And this is after I won 2 national championships. I did not know what was going on. And I went to go talk to my coach. And at this time, being 20 years old, she says to me, Sherin, you have to talk to somebody. You have to figure out what makes Sherin happy. And I'm going through my head, is it playing video games? Is it hanging with my boyfriend at the time? I don't know. And for me, I got that help. I got that help for a while. I started feeling better. But as we know, sometimes when we feel good, I feel good now, I'm taking my medication. In the past, you get off of it because you think that you're okay. And I hopped back on the basketball court thinking that was gonna make things better, and it didn't. It's just kind of deflected away from everything. Now I'm the #1 draft pick. I go to Washington, D.C. My face is everywhere, right? Face is everywhere. And still, I still felt these things. You think that having things, material things, or being popular is gonna make you feel good. No, it didn't. It made it feel worse. I would be on, and I could be here, and I can be really social. Then I was going home and suffering in silence. So for me, using my platform now is really important because I know how afraid I was I was to speak out about these challenges I was having. And then as soon as I did, I realized like so many people were going through the same thing. So even now, you know, I have my good and bad days, and I live a bipolar disorder, but I know how important it is, you know, to help the next individual, to lend a helping hand, because in doing that and serving, it's also helping me. It's also helping me realize that the empathy that we have to show each other, it's opened up my heart. It's made me even more caring. And again, I can't stress, Chris hit so many key points. It's just like, keep at it. It's a fight. We're all in together. You know, I sometimes run across people, and there was probably one the other day while I was doing some programs in Tennessee, and this gentleman said to me, I'm talking to his husband, the husband and wife, and the wife is saying, my son is dealing with these challenges. I need to get him some help. And the dad really abrasively said, oh, he doesn't need any help. This kid goes to the best school. He gets to experience all these great things. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, sir, or whatever. And he walks away, and the mother just starts crying. And she goes, you know what? I gotta get my kid some help, because he's not gonna be here with us much longer if I don't. So we just gotta continue to change minds and change hearts. Right, everyone? Yeah! All right, thank you so much.
No wonder I didn't get selected for the basketball team, because I'm literally on my tippy toes here, and Shamiqua had to like bow down to this. Okay, thank you very much, Shamiqua. And now I'd really like to introduce our fabulous sponsor for so many years. We have Faye William here from Inky Health and Research. She's been a gold sponsor, and Inky's been side by side with NAMI LACC for as long as we know. We really appreciate Faye, and I'd love to invite her up to say a word of thanks and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, our beautiful, will you please stand? This year, our new in charge, beautiful young lady, stand and let's give it up. Adelina. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure meeting her at our beautiful introducing when we had the big party, the welcome party for Inky. Thank you. I'm here to represent the entire Inky. If Inky is in the house near, let me hear you. Inky's in the house. I want to thank our president, Carl Armour, all the directors, managers, supervisors for allowing me this blessed opportunity to be here. Yes, I would like to share briefly. I started with Inky in 1999, and I had major depression, my own self. My sister bipolar, and she didn't have anything to do with me and my siblings. So when I came to Inky, it was a clinician that noticed that I had major depression, and I went to the hospital. Prior to that, I did not even want to live. I said if I had a knife, I would stab myself. I said I wanted to run off the freeway. I had a swimming pool, and I said, let me just jump in the pool because I can't swim, that I can end my life. But I would like to say that Inky Health and Research has been my medication. That is the greatest organization for over 20 years that I have been a part of it. I am the housing coordinator that worked with our homeless clients. So this, to break the stigma of mental illness, is the greatest participation that you can be a part of. And I am so proud that our president asked me to speak in his behalf, Carl Armour. Yes, we have been a gold sponsor for over 15 years. Inky's, NAMI LACC has been 16 years, and Inky has been a part. And the reason being is because Inky cares to bring hope to those that need hope. And we work together as a team. And I hope Yoli, Aguilar, Diane, and Lucy is mandating our table wherever they are. And Inky gives out all kinds of gifts to all the participants that come here. So if you see Inky Hilton Research Table, please go by and say hello to Inky, because they are one of the greatest organizations that you would ever want to meet. And I would just like to turn around to my back to let you know for the first time that one of our participant children clinic, one of the young people designed this t-shirt. Thank you very much. Enjoy, and let's walk to break this stigma of mental illness. Thank you.
Is anyone getting the gist of this whole NAMI thing, this whole NAMI movement, this NAMI walks? Can I hear it if you're having a good time, if you're connecting with somebody new? Folks from South Bay, SGV, Whittier, Pomona, can I hear you? LAPD, MEU, can I hear you? Power? I'm glad you're here having a good time with us. I'm really excited to call up our next speaker, who is the director of the local LA County Department of Mental Health. He is fairly new to the job, but he's been to every NAMI walk since he started. Last year he made some really rousing remarks, and I'm excited for what he has to share to us today. I would say that his heart and mind is with NAMI. He supports us in our goals towards recovery and increasing access to services and treatment, and increasing the quality of that treatment and care. So he really has a lot going for him in terms of leading a humongous department in LA County, the country's largest mental health department. He's recently been involved in all of that stuff you've been reading in Steve Lopez's LA Times articles on Trieste, Italy, and investigating what's going on in their voluntary outpatient mental health system, bringing some of the best thinking from abroad and across the country to bear here in LA to create a truly world-class mental health treatment system for us, for our loved ones. Dr. Sherin.
Hey everybody. Thank you, thanks Brittney, thank you Faye. I really want to salute Shamiqua for your comments. In fact, I didn't get to give you a hug. Can I give you a hug? I think what Shamiqua was doing is really symbolic of what we need to do to transform our culture. And I think when you have someone with her legacy, with her visibility, stepping up and talking about it, it has a transformative impact. You know, really good mental health systems are systems with strong communities. Strong communities with a lot of prevention efforts, communities that pay attention to the social determinants of health, and that have great treatment. And when people are sick and they can't stay in the communities, that have crisis response systems, hospitals to care for them, instead of relying upon the police and the jails for them to get their care. And with that in mind, I really do want to recognize this county collective. I want to recognize the Board of Supervisors, who are my boss, and they don't let me sleep very much, for decisions recently to invest in care and not custody, for those of you who are following that effort. At the end of the day, our communities depend upon being connected, and empathy is the energy that allows people to connect. And people who are sick or have disabilities of any kind need to be included in our communities and embraced in our communities and a part of our community's DNA every day. I want to tell you about a couple of things that I think are really significant that I'm working on, that this county's working on, that many other leaders are working on, and NAMI is certainly trying to support. And the first is to look at our involuntary treatment laws. Because our involuntary treatment laws are not working. They're too complicated, they're not specific enough, and they don't put resource in front of the issues. Recently, we with several leaders in Sacramento, have put together an audit. And you don't usually call an audit on yourself. But the reason that we want to audit the laws is we want to find out how it's working, how it's not working, and whether we need to fix it or replace it so we can provide care for people who we can't engage by other means and get them treatment, get them care on the road to recovery, instead of letting them deteriorate in the streets and get thrown into the jail. The other thing, which is a big part of the solution, is more mental health treatment beds. We don't have enough mental health treatment beds. And I'm not just talking about acute beds that are locked. I'm also talking about longer term beds that are locked and that are unlocked and that are high quality and that are welcoming, so that people will want to get care and get stable instead of avoiding the system. The last thing I want to talk about, which is really bothering me, I'll be frank. And it has to do with the importance of lived experience as a part of our solution in the health and human service industry, and certainly within mental health. And the fact is that we will never reach our North Star. We will never develop that community unless we as a system are informed from the inside out by lived experience, and if we're not leveraging a workforce of people with lived experience to help engage, to pay it forward. And the thing that's bothering me, having worked on this for probably 10 years of my life in different parts of the country, is the fact that we have an incredible bill on the governor's desk. That bill is Senate Bill 10, authored by Jim Bell. Sponsored by, yes, Los Angeles County. Sponsored by the Steinberg Institute. And sponsored by the Oversight and Accountability Commission of the state. And it's been on the governor's desk for some time, and it's not yet signed. And I think it is a big step in the right direction towards transformation if we get a bill that recognizes that peers are not just an afterthought, but are the core to the transformation of mental health care and behavioral health care in this country and in this county. The last thing I want to do here is I want to thank the families, and I want to thank every consumer and every person that suffers for standing with us, and for your sacred trust in the department to work with you, to help you, and to rise together. It is the families, it is the households, it is the neighborhoods that will help us heal. And with that in mind, I want to salute NAMI. NAMI is not only a premier advocacy organization in the mental health space, and one that comes from great pain and years of not having a voice. But NAMI leads advocacy efforts across all fields. So I salute you. I'm glad you're all here. I send you lots of love, and let's move this system.
None of us can imagine the shoes that he has to fill every day and step into to face the challenge of making LA County better and easier for all of us. Let's give him a round of applause for showing up to work every day, despite the struggle and the challenges, and then having that open heart and open mind to be heart forward to support us in our needs and continuing to listen to them every day. Thank you, Dr. Sherin. And thank you also to all of our friends and supporters from the Department of Mental Health, who has also been a huge supporter of NAMI and NAMI walks throughout NAMI's history in LA County. Really amazing. Another round of thanks for DMH, please. DMH. She is such a great teammate. She is such a great leader. We've had a bunch of fun learning how to work together and her learning how to work with all of you to make this an event a really fun, successful day. As you can tell, she takes her job super seriously with hot pink visors, a prom night to boot, and some hot green leggings, or leg warmers, I guess they're called. Welcome Adelene to the stage. So glad to have you as part of our team.
I'm back. So the walk wouldn't happen without our sponsors. Can I get a round of applause for our sponsors? We've got our national elite sponsor, Alchemies. We've got our presenting sponsor who's not here today, but our presenting sponsor this year is HBO. We've got our gold sponsors, Enki Health and Research Systems. We got Faye back here representing. We've got a sponsor in Mr. Robot. We've got a sponsor in the Zimmer Family Foundation. Thank you to all of our sponsors, our media sponsors, Power 106 over there. Hey, Power 106. Check out their Y installation, EDK and Company, 93.5 K-Day, and back in the day. We got everybody here, and everybody here contributed in some way to making this walk possible, so thank you. A huge thank you to Councilmember Koretz, whose office supported logistics for today's walk, and the City of Whittier Community Services, who also helped logistics for today's walk. A shout out to our Walk Planning Committee. Our Walk Planning Committee, these are folks from across all of our 12 affiliates in LA County who get together all year to make Walk Day possible, starting with our